So Lil Wayne says his mother asked him for a grandbaby at the age of 14 because she had lost his father. I'm gonna let it play.
I walked into my mama's room when I was 14. She asked me for a kid because my dad was killed. And her son had just blew up and went on his first tour. And we did not know that was gonna be 6 months. When I came home, she said, son, I can't live in this house by myself. We're gonna have to figure something out. I'd like to thank Antonia Johnson. For reasoning with me and my mom in my life.
So right out the gate, why was it out of the realm of possibility for his mother to have her own baby? She had Weezy when I think she was about 20, 21 years old. So that would put her, if he's 14 at the time, that would put her about 34, 35 years old. You can't just have your own baby, ma? Like, this is a perfect example when you have to start learning how to tell your parents no. But as a 14-year-old, it's not out of the realm of possibility to be coerced by your parents. You know what I'm saying? But we thank this baby mama for, I guess, reasoning with the family. I don't know what that was about, because it didn't seem like it was much reasoning. They still did it a year later. 15, she was impregnated, and then Wayne was 16 when they had the baby. She was younger, a year younger than him. And my question to them, to that is, did her parents know? Where were her parents in this? Did they know about this? This seemed like a pretty planned pregnancy. And for them as parents to say, hey, there's a rich rapper, go ahead and impregnate my daughter. I mean, that seems like trafficking to me. You know what I'm saying? On both parts, though. Because if they were living in Louisiana, I just looked up the age consent there is 17. So you got a mother who's asking her 14-year-old son to go have sex and impregnate a girl. You got another set of parents who seemed like they were okay with their daughter being impregnated, if that's the case. And look, that's not a phenomenon. Teenagers are hot in the pants, you know what I'm saying? We see teenagers have babies all the time, but usually as a parent, your job should be to keep them as much as you can out of that situation rather than coercing them and pushing them towards it. So just imagine if there was shoe on the other foot type thing. If it was a father who had a wife that died and he asked his 14-year-old daughter to go out and have sex and bring him a grandbaby because he was lonely. I could just hear the outrage right now. Like, it would be so much, for one, child endangerment. It would be SA. It would be CAPE. It would be trafficking. It would be all type of, it just seems to be a lot more outrage when it comes to the women more than when it comes to men. And I want the kids to be protected all the way around. I'm not just advocating for men here. It's just what came up today, but I'm advocating for men and women. They should be protected rather than be thrown to the wolves. And a lot of times as adults, we project adult things onto our kids that we should not be doing. Like, she was asking her son because she was lonely. As a 35-year-old woman, she's asking him, as a 14-year-old boy, to become a man. Not only to start having sex, which you know how that can alter people at a young age, but to become, she was placing the burden of becoming a fully grown man to care for another baby on his shoulders at 14. And then you're just dealing with the psychological thing of having sex at a young age. Listen, I know a lot of teenagers are hot in the pants, and that's what we may want at the time. But as far as what is good for us, you find out later in life that no, these things aren't good for you. I thought that way when Boosie revealed to the world, and this was even worse when he said that he paid grown women to give his young son's head at the age of 12 years old. It's like, yeah, as a 12-year-old boy, I understand wanting some head. Like, yeah, young boys and young girls are hot in the pants. But that doesn't mean as a parent you should indulge that for them, because see, that'll turn on a light switch and you can see that his sons are many versions of him. And as much as we love Boosie, it was just tough to watch Boosie's young kids emulating all of the debauchery that he was into as an adult. You know, it's just not cute on kids. It's not a good look to me. I cringe every time I watch parents twerking with their young daughters, you know, for likes and this, that, and the other. You got your 10-year-old baby out here twerking. It bugs me. It bugs me when I see the fathers like Boosie introducing sex to their young sons at such an early age. It bugs me when they got their young sons introduced to the gun culture and the gang culture so young. It's not a good look to me. I think it's very irresponsible to keep trying to push an adult life upon our kids just because we want them to be many versions of you, you know? And in introducing stuff like this, Boosie with his son, with his 12-year-old son, Lil Wayne with his mother introducing him to, as a 14-year-old boy, wanting them to have sex early. I mean, you don't realize it turns on a switch that you can't often turn off. You look up after you've been introduced to stuff so early, and then you're a young adult with 8 kids by 7 different baby mamas. Or you're a baby mama with 4, 5 kids by 4 different baby daddies. And you don't know why you are so promiscuous, why you're so sexual, why you keep craving sex, why you can't stop your behaviors, because somebody opened Pandora's box, likely a parent, and got you started on a path that you shouldn't be on. And then we ain't even got to a lot of children that have been touched unwantedly, and it has changed the whole trajectory of their lives. Now they're experiencing the same promiscuity, and they've changed their preference from heterosexual to, you know, so many other preferences and pronouns that they may be interested in. And they wonder themselves, how did they get on this path? And it was because somebody did a disservice to them and ruined their lives. And though that is so sad and so terrible and should have never happened to you, I don't think that it makes it okay for some of the people in this community to then go around and also do the same type of behavior, just in a different way. They want their children to be many versions of them. So then they go and start giving their kids the option of puberty blockers and hormone changers and surgeries and all of that stuff. And in turn, or not really realizing, you may also put your child in a difficult position to live a life or live a path that they might not necessarily have wanted to be on. And I know Lil Wayne may not look at this as his life being ruined because it turned out so great. Everything is so good. He got money, but you ever stop to think what it would have been like if he didn't have money? I mean, we all know too well the rappers that almost made it or made it just a little bit and then something went left, you know, could have said the wrong thing, did the wrong thing, got kicked off the tour. Then what? Then you back home at 16 years old with a 15-year-old baby mama, a fresh baby, and a sexual appetite for more. And no money. So then what? McDonald's ain't paying enough to take care of no baby. So he's probably going to resort to different ways to get money out in these streets. And then what? He becomes another statistic, in and out of jail. 3, 4 baby mamas. You dig what I'm saying? 3, 4 kids that he probably not taking care of because he ain't got no money. But we don't look at that side of it because everything went so well. Since everything went good and he had money, you don't pay attention to the red flags that were there. We all remember Jim Jones when he said that his mother tongue kissed him. I think at like 8 or 10 years old or something like this, to show him how to kiss. And people was like, what do you mean? He was like, no, she tongue kissed me. Like, she kissed me. And just a quick sidebar, they kind of laughed off the Jim Jones thing, made jokes about it. Can't not flip that. If it was a father who kissed his 8, 10-year-old daughter in the mouth, you think anybody would have laughed at all? I'm just asking. So after Jim told this story, people was like, what? But it wasn't until other people start pointing out to him how outrageous this was that he retracted it and was like, no, I was just playing. No, you wasn't. You wasn't. But see, people, nobody, it's all good because you made it and you got money. And because Jim was a boy. But had it been a girl that got kissed in the mouth, I guarantee you the father would have been in jail before the interview dropped. Right? Nobody questioned, because everything went good. And everything went good in Wayne's life. So no one questioned the things that he asked, the things that his mother asked him to do at 14 years old. Because he's been saying this for some years. But yeah, it should have been questioned. Should be questioned now. And we need to question it so that more young men and young women ain't asked to do these type of things at a young age. But this your boy P. Camp. Let me know what you think, what you don't think. Get at your boy.